Hello, fabulous Aries. Welcome to your horoscope for the month of September 2024. I am your astrologer, Nadiya Shah. Thank you for being here. It is a remarkable astrological week, without a doubt. Big moves happening in the sky now. Boy, is it a very special time. And it truly is so special right out of the gate. Wow, does this month begin strong. On September 1st, we have Uranus going direct, bringing a surprise moment, and Pluto retrograding back into the sign of Capricorn. So with Uranus going retrograde, it is a moment of insight, a revelation that leads you to be more deeply honest with yourself. And for you, this is taking place in a part of the sky that has to do with finances, and it has to do with self-love and self-esteem. What choices would you have made differently if you were operating more from a place of self-love and self-value? I think a light bulb is going to come on where you're going to see a certain situation in your life differently as a result of the insights you have now. The other layer here, of course, is finances and where it is that you might need to be more honest with yourself about what's happening with you financially. Well, that awareness just might find you. But the great thing is that with the awareness, solutions come about as well. And when we have such strong financial energy, it means that the money you need is there. With Pluto retrograding back into the top of your sky, well, this energy does indicate a need to very quickly pay attention to what's happening with career or life purpose and focusing in, honing in on some achievement that matters to you. This could be a goal that shows up now, or it could be a sense of culmination of a process that you've been in since 2008. In many ways, this is about wrapping up loose ends, understanding what's worth doing and what isn't as you dedicate yourself onward for the weeks ahead. On the 2nd of the month, we have this month's new moon, and the new moon takes place in a part of the sky for you that has to do with your daily life, and it is standing across the sky from Saturn. This brings with it a reality check moment, very likely from outside of you, an interaction with another person. And it may feel like it comes up out of nowhere, but it could also be your own inner restlessness, an interaction that makes you feel downright antsy for something to change. New moons bring new opportunities. This is related to your work or your health. And so where it comes to your work, new clients, customers, coworkers, or immediate supervisors can show up with a new moon, but what can also take place, another layer of understanding to what is happening now, well, that just might revolve around a deeper appreciation of the value of what you do. If it is that these new people are coming in, you may need to be measured in your responses or really appreciate what it is that they're bringing or not, and where it is that the situation might just feel less than ideal. There could be a real learning curve, for example, and you might feel responsible for things that you don't feel are really your responsibility, but that can be a possible scenario here. New tasks or new roles might show up for you. And again, it feels like there is that learning curve and just some sense of stress. And I'm so sorry to say, but it does happen. But the great thing is that that stress takes a moment and then you're able to move forward. Where it comes to your health, this could be a time when you are honestly evaluating where you could be doing things differently in the small ways with what you do day in and day out. It's a time of maybe refining some of your medications or eating habits. It's those little changes now that can add up to a lot, but it looks like a part of you feels that some of these changes you have known you should be implementing for a while. They've been a long time coming, and this is an important turning point moment that ultimately is about aligning you with greater longevity. The 18th of the month, eclipse season begins with a partial lunar eclipse taking place in the sign just before yours. And boy, is this a powerful lunar event. I actually spoke about this in the year ahead video, so you may want to review that again. But what makes this full moon lunar eclipse so powerful is that it is involved in a larger configuration, a kite formation, and it involves the biggest heavy hitters in the sky. All three outer planets are involved here. with Uranus, Pluto, and the Sun forming a grand trine anchored by the lunar eclipse. And on either side of the lunar eclipse, we have Saturn and Neptune. The eclipse is also squaring Jupiter. So a square to Jupiter, it means everything feels bigger. It feels larger, from personal feelings to the reality of the situation and how events are showing up. But there's also a real sense of transformation and consequence to this time. A time of empowerment, seriousness, but also an anchoring in inspiration. Because this eclipse is happening in the sign just before yours, and eclipses deliver their news rather quickly, it's as if out of nowhere, what you didn't know, all of a sudden you know, and it is impactful. It makes a big difference. Now, this could relate to any person, place, thing, or situation. It could be related to something external to you, but it could also be related to you having a realization into self, an understanding and appreciation of who you know yourself to be on a deeper level, being stirred as a result of an inner restlessness that takes you by surprise, that seems like it comes out of nowhere, but you have to do something with it. Whether the impetus, the surprise seems to come from in you or outside of you, the response ultimately lends itself to profound changes in your life in a very real way. There's a lot happening on levels of soul, psyche, and spirit at this time. You're understanding where it is that healthy karmic closures are taking place, whether they feel right in the moment. Very soon you'll be able to recognize this as a big blessing. What needs to come, let it, but what needs to go, let it as well, as you are clearing space in a powerful way for brand new beginnings. The new beginnings come right around the corner. Actually, it is going to be next month that we're going to have a full moon in your sign, and that is a time of truth and clarity as to identity and self. Powerful realizations are up ahead and new beginnings rooted in culminations, but it is now that the universe creates space for all of that good stuff to find you. Now, when it comes to matters of love, it was just before the month began that Venus entered your opposite sign. This is a powerful placement for you. And so you're entering the month with this Venus trine Pluto energy with you. And to me, this represents a real sense of connection with another person or a decisive choice that you're making in the context of love. For those of you open to meeting someone new, Venus moving into your opposite sign makes it that much more likely that you could attract someone who has real long-term potential. And so stay open to however it is that you open yourself to love. This is Venus moving into an air sign. And so having one-on-one interactions, conversations online or in person can go a really long way towards helping you to feel you're connecting with people where you do see some seeds of what could be there in a longer, bigger picture. For those of you just starting to date someone, if it is that you feel there could be something here, I think with Venus entering your opposite sign, you start moving towards that understanding of partnership that much more. But if it is that you have felt that, there really isn't anything here to navigate forward with, well, I would say you're going to find your clarity in the first days of this month for sure. You're going to know. And as you do, and especially at the very beginning of the month with Venus trine Pluto, that's energy that we end last month with, that you're carrying into this month. That seems like you're making a choice as to what's right for you, and you are at peace with whatever it is you're deciding. Now, the other layer is that a week into this month, Mercury will square Uranus for a third and final time. Part of the Mercury retrograde that took place was in a heart-oriented part of the sky, having to do with the romance and flirtation. And these ongoing connections to Uranus were a key characteristic. So now as we get the third connection, some light bulb is going to go off about who this person is, what you really feel for them, whether or not it is worth navigating forward or not. And that in turn can be a game changer, a very all or nothing moment. And for those of you in an established bond, well, by far Venus moving into the part of the sky having to do with partnership, that is going to be the very big deal now. And it is that suggests where relationships are good, they feel that much easier, that much more deeply connected. Where they haven't been good, actually Venus moving into your opposite sign can bring healing, can bring a sense of joy into the mix. Now, for a very small percentage of Aries out there, if you felt for a while that maybe you're not in the right relationship for you, this could be a time where you have enough faith and love, but also a sense of respect for yourself and for this other person to, with love in your heart, look at what going a different way might be for you. What I love about this month for you, there's so much here. It is a powerful and meaningful astrological moment. I'm going to say the lunar eclipse, actually. It is a powerful one. It is over the top. It is going to be felt by everybody in one way or another. It is deeply consequential. And for you, there's just so much stirring on levels of soul, psyche, and spirit. Trust whatever visions are coming forward, especially in the dream space now. The closures, the healthy karmic closures that happen now are making way for massive blessings. Well, thank you so much for watching. You can get a video like this each and every week for each and every sign for as low as just $3 a month with Choose Your Membership rate at NadiyaShahSuperstars.com, where you get expanded exclusive video scopes. Higher tiers get you things like all access passes to Synchronicity University events, consultations with me, and so much more. All of this in the Superstar space at NadiyaShahSuperstars.com. Links are in the description below. Thank you again for watching. It'll be a great month. Enjoy.